What's good, people? Welcome to another video on my channel. It's your boy Elijah, and today I wanted to bring you guys the top 10 next generation companies that you have to know in 2021. So let's get right into it. Starting at number 1, we have Coinbase. So I made a video recently about Coinbase and how the company works. So Coinbase really is a cryptocurrency marketplace and wallet. So basically what they're doing is speeding up the adoption of cryptocurrency, allowing people to save cryptocurrency through their platform on their wallets, and as well as buy and sell a bunch of different cryptocurrency. So this company is really valuable because, as we know, cryptocurrency has become one of the top growing asset classes in the world. Bitcoin was the number 1 asset in the past 3 years, growing at insane rates. I think one of the highest rates at 5,800 and something percent in 1 year, which is an insane amount of growth. So this is starting to be known as the gold of the internet. And as we know, the internet has changed a lot in the world, and the internet has recently got its own currency. So this company, Coinbase, is leading the way when it comes to how people will be using cryptocurrency in the future. So this company is definitely one to keep an eye out for and pay attention to. Now, moving on to number 2, we have Stripe. So I have not made a video about Stripe. They are still a private company. So Stripe is basically a payment system. It's also in the finance space. So what they do is they have the online payment processing system. So whenever you're purchasing something online, typically it's maybe Stripe because they dominate a lot of the market when it comes to the United States and Europe. And also recently they just acquired Paystack in Africa, so they can also enter that market. So Stripe, really what it does is they take 2.9% out of every transaction that happens on using their payment system. So whenever you're buying something online, you put your credit card in, they process the payment from your credit card company towards the buyer or the seller, whatever the business is. So that middleman is Stripe, and they're making sure transactions go smoothly, and they focus on security as well. So this is one to keep an eye on because they process a lot of payments, and they're currently valued, I think, close to $100 billion, and they haven't even hit the public market yet. So definitely keep an eye on Stripe, and when they go public, that is one company that you definitely want to be invested in the next decade. So then moving on to number 3, we have Airbnb. So I made a video about Airbnb already on my channel, so you should definitely go check it out. Airbnb is in the travel and experiences. I'm sure you most likely already have heard the name before, but basically I want to break it down to you today because as we were sitting in 2020, they recently went IPO. 2021, I mean, they recently went IPO in 2020. And basically what we saw was COVID-19 hampering and dampering the business. So what's going to happen when COVID-19 goes away? The business of travel and leisure and experiences is going to go up, and we're gonna see that continue to grow. So Airbnb today, I wanna say a lot of my friends, whenever they're traveling anywhere, they typically use Airbnb. So this is a direction a lot of people have been going in, and it's become a huge trend, especially for the next generation coming into the economy. So this is definitely one to keep an eye on because their market is very big. One of the fastest growing companies that you can possibly see. They have reached over 100,000 cities across the world. So Airbnb is a global real estate short-term rental, and you definitely want to have a piece of this. So moving on to number 4, we have Zillow. I also talked about Zillow already in the past, but Zillow is a real estate platform that allows you to basically find out anything you want to know about any property out there in the world. You just kind of search up, your zip code, and you find out all the houses on sale, all the houses that were on sale in the past, and you can find out information about the property tax. You can find out estimate mortgages, etc. So they are an information hub, and they have all the data possible on millions, I think 103 million homes across the United States, which is really insane. But the really interesting part about Zillow moving forward is the iBuying market. So real estate is one of the only markets that has not been penetrated by technology, and I talk about this a lot. So currently the iBuying market in real estate transactions is 1%. And we're talking about trillions dollar worth marketplace. So when iBuying grows over time as more adoption of technology happens in real estate, we're going to see this market continue to grow as well. So real estate, when it comes to Zillow, since they have the information on all these properties, they have proper estimates. So they have IP, so intellectual property under Zestimate formula. So they give people very, very, accurate, I would say, estimates on what mortgages could be and etc. So this is a company to keep an eye on as the next in the next decade as well, because they are changing the game when it comes to how fast we're going to be able to find properties, buy properties. So this is going to be really, really huge. Moving on to number 5, and we have Robinhood. So Robinhood has changed the game completely when it comes to how people invest in this world. So in the past, it was the barrier to entry for investments was really, really high. You had to go find a brokerage somewhere. You had to pay insane fees. And Robinhood eliminated all of that, 0 fees, and you can do it from your phone. Very, very easy. So this company really, really changed the game when it comes to how many people are able to enter the system. So when we say how will they be evaluated in the future, it really, really depends on how their business model continues to transform. So currently they are 0 fees, but they do have a Robinhood Gold. So where people, buy a membership monthly and they subscribe to getting, a little bit more upgrades and perks. So you get extra margins, you get instant deposits increases, you get data and more information about the stock market. So there are a few incentives here and there, but we will see how Robinhood continues to grow. I want to say Robinhood definitely changes the game for people financially. So this is a company to keep an eye on moving forward. Moving on to number 6, we have Lemonade. Lemonade I'm very, very excited about because they are disrupting the insurance industry. So what they do is they use AI to allow people to get instantaneous sort of claims and creating a new insurance plan. So let's say you own a house and you need a new insurance, you go on lemonade.com and you basically set up your insurance plan with them, and they say it takes under 6 minutes, and customers have also proven this, stating that it's taken them a couple minutes, maybe a minute, 2 or 3, to get their new plans set up. And this is very, very different compared to the traditional insurance model because it often takes weeks to get plans set up. So this is really, really interesting. Also, Lemonade recently got 1 million active customers, and they have been in business for 4 years. The interesting thing as well is they are continuing to grow and expand in Europe also. So we're gonna see how Lemonade continues to transform. They're also adding new insurance plans like life insurance, and they are looking towards car insurance possibly in the future. We're gonna see how that continues to grow. So moving on to number 7, I want to talk about Affirm. So this is buy now, pay later. I think you've probably seen this online somewhere whenever you were shopping. It says, hey, do you want to buy this thing? You can buy now and pay us later. So Affirm is a company that allows you to buy something now, pay them later over time, changing the credit industry because it's very, very different when it comes to the interest rates that you're getting from them. So you can buy whatever it is you want. And there is a locked-in fee at the end of X amount of months, and it's not about, you have insane interest rates where you don't know how much you end up paying. It's very, very upfront. You know how much you're going to pay in, let's say, 6 months. You want to buy an iPhone, and they say, okay, I'm going to buy now, pay later. So you split it up into maybe 6 months, and you say, okay, I pay this amount by the end of time. And that's really, really interesting because they have also reduced the barrier for people to buy stuff. Especially with people that don't have great credit. So this is a company to continue to pay attention to. Moving on to number 8, we have Palantir. Palantir is a data analytics company, one of the biggest ones rising. And basically what they do is they organize data in a way that makes sense. At least that's what they say. They work really, really well with the government right now, the US government, the CIA, and the Department of Justice. So this company is also one to continue to keep an eye on because they have been securing a lot of really, really strong contracts, especially long-term, for good revenue in the future. So moving on to number 9, I want to talk about Coursera. Coursera is an educational platform online, and basically what we saw is the internet is changing how people learn over time, especially with online learning starting in 2020. So a lot of people, what we have seen is the traditional education experience has been transformed. People are learning everything online. I'm doing my university online as well right now. So Coursera is one of the biggest companies out there right now that has online education. So this is definitely one to keep an eye on, because as we continue to move forward, university track might start to detract. We're going to see a lot of people go away from the university and the traditional kind of educational, sequences. So this is something to definitely keep an eye on and how they're going to continue to move. The 10th and final company that I want to talk to you about today is Square. So Square is a company that owns Cash App, and they also dominate the small business market when it comes to providing tools for business owners to thrive. So number one is their point of sale system. So whenever you show up to a store, there's probably a white box somewhere where you're putting your credit card in to complete transactions. And similar to Stripe, they process payments for these businesses, and they take a percentage of the fees. So another thing we can see in the sales market is they also have like other incentives like inventory management, payroll system management, taxes, and a bunch of other things that makes having a small business very, very easy to manage. And the other part of it is Cash App, which is really, really growing right now, especially as people are changing the financial system in the world. Everything is becoming more mobilized, so people are using their phones to complete transactions, and we're seeing the traditional banking system change. Also, Square opened a new bank, so they are becoming a bank of its own, and they are combining the sellers ecosystem and Cash App ecosystem together to create a cycle of consumers and business owners that can buy and sell from each other really, really well. So that wraps up my video today. Today I just wanted to bring you the 10 hottest companies you should be paying attention to in the next 10 years. These companies are gonna continue to grow over time. So I want you to pay attention to how they're continuing to redefine how we as people are interacting with one another. So definitely pay attention to these companies. Let me know what you think about any of these companies. If you're already invested in them, let me know down below in the comments section. Let me know which company you find the most interesting. Let me know what companies outside of this list that you're also interested in. It was your boy Elijah, and I'll be bringing you more episodes on disruptive technologies. See you then.